hear this as well. I am hearing a pretty intense game of rock, paper, scissors going on somewhere around this arena.
This guy ain't nothing. This guy ain't nothing.
I'm simply quiet watch.
Rock, paper,
As we're gonna. Hey, I was gonna catch it. Good cross pass now going to Strem as they just trying to set themselves up for some offense. Strem though, that good man defense coming from Infinite as Mag now coming in. He's gonna do some spinning around into the hands of Flubber. He's gonna get that to Strem, and Strem's gonna put that one in.
So Q throws out, gets it over to Ender. Finding a pass over to midline. Speedy takes that soft one right back up to Ender. So good look to hit him in his stride. Another good pass there to QL Young, and he'll go for that just head-on goal. Ender's receiving that one. Great save from Alduin. Another save! Alduin again! Feels like we're falling for the first time. Again! Ridiculous! 3 consecutive saves head on. When I can't go to sleep. Going in and finally gets a goal, but it was not easy at all. All right, hello everybody, ladies and gentlemen. We got ourselves quite the match, and I'm excited for this one because not only is it a match between two top teams here in North America, Kangorillaz obviously being just having an amazing comeback season at the moment after their preseason. They're 10-1 on it, facing against the preseason champions in Illuminaughty right now. And another reason I'm excited is because I'm casting this game with SirDimwi, and it's, well, his 100th cast. Woo! I promised the Ric Flair woo in the last stream. I don't know if I nailed it, and if that hurt the ears of the viewers, I apologize. Please stay tuned. I will never do that again. Except I probably will, but won't be until a big play happens later. In any case, congrats to Dimwi for the 100th cast in VR Master League.
Yeah, thank you. As I can hear Stram just yelling his little.
I'm temporarily
in the game here.
temporarily muting them so you can talk.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to even get myself to even talk over it as it's going. As blue team's readying up. That is Kangorillaz. You might want to swap them on the stream there because it looks like we've got Kang on blue and Illuminaughty on orange. But yeah, very exciting game one. Yeah, it is my 100th cast. I'm very excited for that. Nice hitting that milestone, something you did in 31 days, and then 27 days I have managed to do in about 5 months. But yeah, very, very excited to hit that milestone myself, but I'm even more excited for this matchup here between these two teams. You got the number 2 in North America, Kangorillaz, that scorching MMR of 1,300, a ridiculous record of 10-1, with a 2-1 win versus Infinite last Wednesday. They're coming into play. The number 6 North American champions, Illuminaughty. They've got that MMR of 1,250, record of 6-5 with another 2 loss versus Joker last Monday. And, you know, they're coming into this one. They're trying to find their feet again. This is a team that can absolutely dominate anybody that they play, including Joker, including Kangorillaz, when they're on a good day. They're just trying to find that good day over the last couple of weeks, and really personally excited to see them get back to it because they're one of those teams that when they're on, man, they are on. But again, they are playing this team of Kangorillaz, who, I mean, when you want to talk about a team being on, Kang, as I mentioned, 10-1 on the season. When they're on, they're on. And they have been absolutely dominant this season, just a little bit behind Joker in the MMR department.
When these teams
looking to maintain that dominance here.
When these teams are on, I just want to say, just to put it into perspective, when these teams are on, they win championships, okay?
Yeah.
Literally. I mean, you have Kangorillaz, the defending championships from the last ESL VRL season a year ago, and then Illuminaughty coming into this new league here with VRML in the preseason, having a bunch of success, coming up with the victory in the finals towards the end of December, the middle of December in the preseason, looking just strong as ever and really establishing themselves as that top team, top players. And talking about these two teams, especially, you know, Kang, I kind of mentioned the dynamics about this, where Kang, so they came off a championship win last summer. They go into the next season, preseason, what have you, and they struggle a bit. You know, it's a little bit of a slump, admittedly. They finished 5th in preseason, and just not the results they wanted. Then they came back to the next season, and boom, they're just better than ever, to be honest. They've never, everything about their game, offensively, defensively, has been at its absolute best. But then I make the comparison to Illuminaughty, because Illuminaughty, they come in the same thing. They go to a championship series, they win it, but then what happens, they go into the next season, maybe a little bit of a fall off, but only a little bit. I want to emphasize that. They're still sitting with a very strong record, but the tough part is that when you do win a championship, it almost feels like, and I can attest to this personally, when you win a championship, it's almost, you know, it's like win again or bust. There's not anything less as a disappointment, and that's kind of tough. All right, there, it's Ender with the stuff. Bringing it 2 points here first for Illuminaughty. But yes, just, that's kind of what I mean is, you know, when you have all those expectations piling up, it is so hard to meet them, because even if you finish 2nd place, it's not good enough by some people's standards.
Well, I mean, you want to talk about expectations. They just scored the first goal here in 9 seconds against this hot Kangorillaz team. So yeah, definitely Illuminaughty making their mark early here in this game.
Ooh, and just dropping the disc off, just losing his hands. So unfortunately, for King. Actually, never mind. It's Loveridge there. So a couple of mishandles on the disc. But right there, back is Ender trying to contest Mad. Mad needs to get it out of there, trying to find a pass. But look at the contest coming in here on the floor from Speedy. They're cutting off the lanes. They're playing man-on-man defense right now. Everyone covered, so just forcing a clear instead. And that will be now a game of boost because of that great 1v1 defense.
Yeah, a lot of leeches, a lot of chains going off there, but finally into the hands of QL Young. And yeah, just a lot of close calls early on here. A lot of good looks, and maybe going for a boop shot here. No, dinging it off the post.
Very close. And right back it'll go now to Kangorillaz, down the first 2 points, but back on offense here. So Sealable Bag takes that, backs it out. Or rather, side passes it if nothing else. Q takes this disc, looks for the avenue, and gets it through. QL Young, 34 meters out, and that's 5 points for Illuminaughty.
Woo! That was a great shot there from QL Young. He's high up in mid, 34 meters out at 17 meters a second. There's only a handful of players in the league that are going to reliably make that shot. QL is definitely one of them. He sinks that one in for 3, and now Illuminaughty finds himself up by 5 2 minutes into this round 1.
And exactly the start they wanted. It's one of those situations where coming in off of a couple of losses for Illuminaughty, you wanted to get this started the right way, and they certainly have. But right now, getting it started with another save this time. So another great play, that is to say, for Illuminaughty. Getting the save, getting the clear, getting the boost, and maybe getting themselves an open goal, if not for that overshoot.
Yeah, that was a great save. That was QL Young again. QL playing both ends of the arena, but we got an empty net shot here from Loveridge, and he gets that one in from the 2 for 3, 27 meters out. Great shot there from Loveridge, and now Kangorillaz are within 2.
And so just like that, that's tough because that was such a great defensive play from Q over in the bubble, and then they 3 different players from Illuminaughty actually got to the front line first, but just misread the trajectory ever so slightly, so it allowed Kang to get the disc back and then score. So tough turnaround off of good defense, but you know what? Illuminaughty going to go right back here now on offense.
Yeah, dangerous offense Illuminaughty has. I mean, but Kangorillaz is a dangerous defense, so they're going to need these clean passes, as we're seeing here. Very crisp, sending one down there to Ender just off the mark, and now getting sent back out the bubble.
And Burb's trying to take this over. It was a good leech from Seal, but still Suburban was able to get that through. Right back into the pocket, the corner here goes a Speedy V. Lots of brawling coming in the mid lanes. You can see that really aggressive defense, maybe almost too aggressive because now the front line is a bit exposed. So trying to get back on the defensive end here for Kangorillaz, and backing it out wisely is Illuminaughty as they go down beneath to Ender, and he delivers, as he very often does, for the 7th point.
And what you can see, we're witnessing Illuminaughty is doing a really good job. You can see them cycling the disc around. What that's doing, excuse me, is pulling the Kang defense just a little bit further out of the bubble, which opens up that space. So we see them cycling that disc around. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to open up those passing lanes in the bubble, and it pays off there for another 2.
And that's the tricky part about man versus man defense, is that if you do get caught off balance, it's like in any other sport, right? If you let your man get by, it suddenly opens up those breakaway goals. Right here, going for a beautiful passing play, right to Loveridge now from Sealable Bag, and there's the 2-man connection between Seal and Loveridge. They are quite the passing pair when it comes to those bubble plays.
Yeah, that is titular Kangorillaz right there. Just 3 different players going around in that triangle formation right on the edges of the bubble. Finally able to put that one in for the 2. We still have a game here about halfway through round 1.
And the stack just being dodged, but look at how fast they go on the collection. They're going to bother that pretty heavily, in fact, indeed. So Kangorillaz, based off their speed, will cause a turnover if they can get this second stack going, and they do. That just might be an open goal for them, barring any overshoots. This time, not the case, so Loveridge pulling a Seal to seal it in for the dunk.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. Illuminaughty not able to get back quick enough. A couple players nearby would have expected a chain typically, but yeah, not able to get back to goal. So Kang able to tie it up here. So yeah, let's see where we're headed.
I think we're headed into an exciting 4.5 minutes here of this first round remaining, and we Seal just doing a Joker train off an enemy to collect the disc and get it back, but over here will be Illuminaughty instead taking it. So Ender on the offense looking for that barrier pass, always a great option. They back it out though because of the the momentum in the wrong direction. So again, that smart play coming in from Illuminaughty. And going up high now, but a bad save. Talk about Illuminaughty. That was just, yes. I'm not going to go to that pun. It's kind of ridiculous. But over here, it's going to go to the bottom of the floor, taken by, no, not Strem, it's QL Young. Kangorillaz almost got it, but still it will be Illuminaughty. And looking at an opportunity as it goes to the ping pong plays. So here we go.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth here between the two teams. Both teams playing really strong on defense against each other at the moment. We saw some great passing there from Illuminaughty, but now into the hands of Kang. And just past the hands there right in front of the goal.
That was a rocket of a pass there, but luckily they don't pay too hard for it, at least initially. There's the pass out, and you can see how quickly, too, Kangorillaz, they're so aware. I mean, they pile on the disc a little bit there, but what happens? They spread out immediately to make themselves accessible for the passes. And now accessible for the speed, the stack, and the recollect.
The control of the disc right now is absolutely ridiculous. Both teams doing an amazing job. I mean, you see one team miss one pass and then immediately goes into the hands of the other team, and they're turning it right around to crisp passes. And I mean, again, there one missed pass and now crisp passes we're going to see from Illuminaughty. They're going to start bringing it down now. This is absolutely phenomenal.
And the defense playing a big factor here from both teams as it gets stuck in the mid lane, that disc for a while. You see the soft tap pass, but again, notice even through all this brawling and this disarray, notice how teams like this, they're just so good about making sure their lanes are open for those passes. They don't stay stuck together too long. You know, they get together for the stacks when they need to be, but otherwise, once they're on offense, they got the disc back. They immediately spread out for those avenues.
Yeah, I mean, we're just still seeing it, as you mentioned, the ping pong back and forth. Neither team able to get very close to either team's bubble. Both teams getting back first on these clears in their own zone. And yeah, this is a lot. I don't even know what else to say about it. A lot of back and forth. Oh,
Maybe now,
here.
Break away, trying to break it open, but sealable bag. They slap save right out of the stun, and another one dinging off the post. Speedy will contest it, get it back, but another sling out, tap out. QL Young finding the backboard, and it is good after how many attempts was that to go up by 2 with under 2 in this first round.
Yeah, that scrum was absolutely ridiculous, and that was 2 minutes, 42 seconds for that goal to go in. That was, yeah, so much back and forth there. Kangorillaz doing everything they can to keep that one out of the goal. 2, 3, 4 opportunities to stop those shots, but it does ultimately go in. And so Illuminaughty finds themselves up by 2 with only a minute and a half to go here.
And right now, the chat getting all excited, but here goes on the offense, backing it out. I know chat mentioning QL off the backboard. Notice how I called the backboard before I actually shot it. But anyways, over here goes the Mad. And Mad's going to look for Loveridge up top. I take it back, SirDimwi, and now again spreading apart for their passes. So making a play now for the cutting. Loveridge, or Strem rather, we couldn't quite get that one. So will be collected, cleared, and with 1 minute left, Kang does not want to get scored on here.
No, very uncharacteristic miss there from Strem on the goal. He was right in there, goes wide from only about 2 meters out. Yeah, you know he's not feeling good about that one.
Still, though, they're in this fight till the end. Want to prevent a score here, see if we can get more of that amazing defense we saw. They're going for a punch. It'll be sent through, but too many bodies in the way. Couldn't quite take enough time. That snag going to be huge for SirDimwi. Gets a clear. It's going to be ricocheted, but if that stack can redirect themselves, they should be good maybe for a breakaway goal, but instead gets slung back out, back to the hands of Strem, and 23 seconds left. So at this point, sealable back taking it away. If they score here, could be looking at an OT to start off this match. That pass just off because of the stun coming through in the clutch.
Oh, what an important stun that was. That's what gets this disc all the way back into the Kang zone here with only 4 seconds to go. Round 1 is going to go into the hands of Illuminaughty here. What a win for these guys in the first round. Yeah, well earned, and yeah, Kang trying to make something happen there in that last minute and a half. They had a few good opportunities, just couldn't quite finish it. And yes, we will be going into a round 2 after a round 1 victory to Illuminaughty. And yeah, as you pull the stats up, I will pull them up as well so we can take a look at them. We do see Kang, despite only losing by 1 goal, they're down by 4 shots. Illuminaughty with 10 shots, Kang with 6, and then Kang a full minute of possession time there, so you can see how quickly Illuminaughty, when they scored, how quickly they were able to make it happen with possession. But then over on the individual stats, you've got Leverage with a game high of 7 points. I believe we're missing Leverage, the only member on Kang with points in that game. QL with 5, Ender with 4. So that kind of is a testament to the defense we're seeing in this game. You've got players here who are, I mean, they're known for their offensive scoring, and all players at the moment being held to single digits here. So that's the caliber of defense we're witnessing here.
Absolutely. Both these teams on point, as I mentioned. Just this level of play. This is why we have 55 viewers and counting in the match right now, because whether you're a veteran of the game and you know Echo Arena and you're looking to get the best gameplay, the most exciting matches, you look forward to games like this. If you're a new player, these are the kind of games you look forward to learn from. So no matter what you're here for a reason. Right now, going for a passing play, but just off, goes back to Speedy, tries to tap out, and Mad gets it cleared out.
And that's more of that defense. Kang shutting down Illuminaughty right around their own bubble as they get the oh my goodness, the burst comes in. They get to that disc burst, that setup from Strem to Leverage with the goalie back. That's a 2-on-1 opportunity there for Kang. They take first blood here in round 2.
Great delivery. Took no time at all. Already knew that he had a teammate on the barrier, so Strem finding Leverage very nicely there for the first 2 points. And I want to point out, too, chat did note, and in fact, I think Strembitsky on SirDimwi, his podcast last week, noted, when Kang loses the first game, they always come back and reverse sweep. They feel confident almost. It wakes them up when they lose that first round.
Oh, but what a read there from QL on that low pass from the teammates of Illuminaughty there. Beautiful stop there from Kang to send that one out. Beautiful stop there from QL to send that one out.
And Strembitsky up here looking for that pass. That was going to be a very tough one. Leverage flying down with some momentum there. So great catch, but right back on the intercepts. Look at those quick reflexes from both of those teams. And right there.
We're just seeing so much back and forth here. I mean, that steal there, that's the speed of that chain to get to that disc.
There you go again.
Another turnover.
and
right
again.
back in the hands. This is just back and forth here. Oh, no. We got a good look here off the backboard, but just wide.
That was a tough shot. Can't fault him for missing that one because that goalie had been really aware of the dive, was out there early. So by the time that the disc was received, he was already being stunned, just had to fling it out. But right back it goes now to the other side of the floor. Few players all kind of scattered because of that man-on-man play that they're kind of incorporating. And over here, Leverage, though, looking to break it out to an open Mad. And Mad looking for Seal. Trying to go for a play, but maybe cut too early. And Speedy V is there for the recovery.
And just more of that defense here. Kang trying so hard. And this is why Kang has that possession time in that round 1. You see Kang doing most of the controlling here, but Illuminaughty stopping them at every opportunity. And, I mean, you see that defensive
look
chain
at this
there,
passing.
how effective that is.
Like, yeah, the defense, the chains are really pressuring, but look at the quick passing, the great shots. There's the assist, and 4 points, Kangorillaz.
That's what we love to see. I mean, Kang not missing a single one of those passes. That was kind of the hang-up in round 1 for both teams was you'd have 3, 4, 5 really good, crisp passes, and then one that just was a little bit wild. And there we see not a single one going wild. Every one from one hand to the other. And that one goes in for the 2, and now Kang up by 4 here, 3 minutes in.
And anyone who is not familiar with the game, or maybe if you're on a lower-end team or bronze, silver, doesn't matter. Look at what they've been doing. Look at that one, what Strem is doing on the great save. But I want everyone to take a look at that last play. Clip it for that minute, 2 minutes, whatever it was, because that disc control, despite the great defense from Illuminaughty, Kang's disc control, their willingness to reset and spread out for those passes is really what buys them so much success and has now for the last year plus.
Now, Illuminaughty trying to find an answer, come back with a response here to that Kang control, and having a little bit of trouble here controlling it into the Kang zone. Kang doing a really good job of breaking up their passes and disrupting those lanes as Illuminaughty now getting another opportunity to break into the zone here.
Yeah, and them, for Illuminaughty, they're using those back passes, utilizing that as well. And look at that, cross pass, but off the backboard, won't go in. So one of those missed opportunities was a great cross. But now it's just Leverage and Kangorillaz maybe back on the offense here, off this clear.
Yeah, and again, Illuminaughty trying hard, and you can kind of see how quickly they move it on the bubble. That's, again, why we saw that discrepancy between possession. Illuminaughty very, very aggressive on offense, and unfortunately not connecting on some of these passes, but they're so fast moving on that bubble.
Now moving in, just a handoff play. Ender to Suburban. Legend, and that's the first two now. Illuminaughty.
Yeah, what a beautiful handoff there from Ender to Burbs. That kind of, when you see that sort of move, from spec, it's really obvious what's going on, but when you're actually in the bubble, that can create a little bit of confusion, and might have bought them just enough time to be able to slip that one past the goalie with all that traffic in front. What a beautiful play there from Illuminaughty, now bringing it within two halfway through.
And great tap pass as well. The defense in the tunnel was pressuring, so Strem the tap pass. However, Kang still will lose this one, so now looking for some punches, but first on that second stack will still be Kang. So Strembitsky, as he works this up, just gets cut off by Ender, a couple defenders, in fact. Ender, with the one with the disc here, as Speedy cuts up top towards Ness, but there's the reset as well. So, like I mentioned, Illuminaughty, they are very good with that just the same, and that, in fact, is what brought them a lot of success in the preseason, was just their fundamentals and willing to be patient and good with those passes.
Yeah, great read there from the player on Kang. I believe that it was either Syllable or Strem getting that slap out, which gives...
Oh!
Oh, what a stop there from Speedy on that attempt from Mad. As Mad might have... Did Mad drop after that shot?
Maybe. That was most unfortunate. Took a soft shot. I'm not sure. It was because, as Strembitsky goes in there, I got all tied, but I'm not sure if it was because what happened, or like the shot itself was soft, and then, whatever the case was, I'm not sure what happened, but that was an epic save from Speedy, I think. I got the replay, I believe. Anyways, let's see.
Yeah, that was Speedy with the save there.
Because there goes Mad looking for the shot. No, it looked like he got the shot off before the crash or the drop had occurred. So just a soft shot, and unfortunately did not buy the bucket. Did not prepare for that stack, and that's the risk with these high-level games, is that teams are so fast that if you give them enough time to stack back, they will get to the goal, and they will save those discs. We see it quite regularly.
You actually got to wonder, when you see a crash immediately after a shot like that, especially when there's no time. I mean, he knew he had no time. You got to wonder if maybe he accidentally pulled a wire or something, because the chances of an incidental crash after an athletic move that he probably had to pull off, that unfortunately we can't quite see exactly what he did with his body, but I think it's a reasonable inference to conclude that he probably yanked a wire there in trying to get that shot off as fast as he could. And it could maybe even contributed to the lack of speed in the shot. Thinking about it, if he stepped forward, stepped on that wire, yanked his head down, might have taken some speed away from him.
Also, not to take away from the chat a little bit, but I mean, it didn't seem like there was a crash on the shot, and the person who did drop out just now for Kang was not Mad. Loveridge is the one who dropped out. Like, Mad, obviously, he looked like his headset disconnected maybe, but Loveridge is actually the one who left, and he wasn't involved in that play. So cool your jets, Twitch. Cool your jets. Keep it positive in here. Is that the actual time, or are they just memeing me? Anyway, whatever the case is.
I don't know. I feel like maybe we should check, because the chat. I'm gonna go take a look. Now I'm curious if we're getting memed or not.
Yeah. Well, to respond to Lanzan saying you can't get your head stuck in a block without some form of issue, but that was after the play already ended, is all I was getting at there. Because we saw here, I'll pull it up again. There's Mad. It was Mad on the shot here, rolling into the goal area, and you can see there's still a follow through on his shot. He didn't crash there. You can see him retract his hands, so he was still completely there for the play. Now after the play had ended, then Loveridge had to restart, and Mad may have disconnected or took off his headset or something. But the play itself, he was good for that play.
And I on the question of whether or not we're getting memed, I think it's a 50-50 meme, as the shot did go in at 423, but the fact that we're starting at 420 may be a partial meme. And
in the chat there, it's Sneaky Evil saying Loveridge blacked out. Got word from Kango, which has been somewhat of a regular thing for Loveridge, really over the last year and a half. Usually if a player crashes or black screens, it's usually always Loveridge, just from my personal experience. Either way, not that that helps Kang at all. That's still unfortunate for sure. But they're still in the lead here. They have 6-2 on the score sheet, and this is round 2, so they're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. As long as this timeout doesn't ice them, I suppose.
Yeah, and I wouldn't expect it to. I mean, both of these teams are usually really good about, keeping their heads in the game, not letting things distract them. I mean, given that they're those top level teams, they're the kind of teams that are going to see a team like Joker frequently, and Joker definitely the kind of team that tries to get in your head more often than not, and so they're used to dealing with things that are explicitly designed to irk them. So they're definitely primed and ready to keep from getting themselves freezed out. At least we hope so.
Yeah, that's always a hope, because this has been a competitive game. Otherwise, that first round, again, taken by Illuminaughty, 9-7, very close. But this one, we're hoping for the same. We want to see those round 3s. We want to see those overtimes, and I'm hoping for it.
Yeah, this has been a very exciting game so far, and I'm really excited to see where we're headed. And I'm even more excited at the prospect of a game 3 between these two teams.
So on this launch now, we have the clock running at 4:17 and counting. We do have Illuminaughty rolling out, losing the disc, however, to Sealable Bag. So maybe a good start off this joust for them, but I take it back because it's Ender. He's going to go for that bounce shot. Just goes right into the hands of the Mad and a Sealable stack.
It was unfortunate. He tries to go off the flat part of the ceiling, throws it just short, and it hits that skybox, the reverse trench up in the ceiling there, and it bounces straight down into the hands of Kang.
And right back now to the midfield and cleared out on out. Kang trying to get back on the defense, and they do so successfully. So Seal is there, gets it to Mad, and Mad always that backline player, or at least most frequently a recipient of those back passes, whether in goal or at the midfield.
What a beautiful pass that was from Matt to leverage off of the trench. Takes a perfect bounce with it right into the hands of QL Young, who says that one in for the 3 from 18 meters out under pressure. No hesitation there from QL to put that one in. And now Illuminaughty within 1.
And we kind of saw this as well in the last round. It was earlier in round 1, but Illuminaughty was looking really strong to start. And then just a 3 that was kind of similar. Just brought it right back to 1 point. Of course, Illuminaughty was able to close off the first round and win it. So for Kang, they're maybe feeling a little bit of the heat, but ideally for them, they're going to be able to recollect here to force the round 3. Of course, QL Young definitely trying to stop that as Mad takes a disc over, slings it down, but Ender is just prepared for that. Gets it, but off the hands or the head of one of the Kango players. Couple in there in the goal, diving out, is sent out, but still offense to Illuminaughty.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch who it was. They got the 5 head on the disc, but that was a great stop there in goal. And then, as I'm commenting on it, Illuminaughty come back. The feed from QL to Ender right in front of the goal. Ender cutting in and able to put that one in for the 2. And now Illuminaughty finds himself up by 1, finally getting the lead for the first time here in round 2. Maybe he's trying to prevent that game 3 from happening.
Very well-placed pass right onto Ender. His teammates doing a good job to enable his offense and, providing some of those passing plays, very similar to what we saw from Kangorillaz in just recent plays and all throughout round 1. Those cross passes directly in front of the goal. When you're catching it so close to the goalkeeper and you're so accurate with those passes, it's very hard to save and to read.
Oh, that was speaking of reads, that was a great read from Burbs to get an interception there at mid.
And going across to the wall, there's a stack there now for Kangos, both going for the brawl instead, so they might get it. No, just sailing past Strem's hands now, and that's going to buy another goal. Speedy, Illuminaughty up in the last minute and a half, 9-6.
Speedy, in that moment, found himself stuck between a rock and a hard place. And so he's got the choice. He can either play the player next to him or just chase after the disc. But if he plays that player, he gives the other defenseman enough time to get back in the goal to make it a save on his shot attempt. But he makes it happen anyways. He got the stun out on the player, got the disc, and got the goal on the goalie. That was absolutely phenomenal there from Speedy.
And very timely with only a minute left. At this point, the game is now not just Echo Arena, it's a game of disc control. That one going out of control almost into the goal, but Strem still recovers. They're still in this fight, but again, we saw this come down to the last minute in the first round. We want to see it come down to this last minute in the last, and there is a goal from Loveridge to at least help the case. Still down by 1, though.
Yeah, they're only going to have about 25 seconds. Actually, 23 seconds once they come out. And Kang's going to have to make something happen fast here if they want to come back and force this game 3.
And just a note, too, people in the chat mentioning the Connoisseur. It was a 31-2 in favor of Kangorillaz winning this one. So, indeed, the fan vote at least being upset perhaps at the moment with only 15 seconds left. There is the disc. There's the control. 12 seconds left. They're going to go for the win. And Illuminaughty, just like that, will come back after a couple down weeks and establishing themselves as still a master team in Master League.
What a shot there from Ender to ISIS one in the last 10 seconds of this game. Illuminaughty had to maintain control. They had to keep their cool if they wanted to protect that lead, and they did. Some beautiful passing we saw after they forced that initial turnover, and they bring it back down. Ender looking at an empty goal. He knows he has no time to take that shot. He takes it. He puts it in confidently from about, I didn't actually get the read on it, but probably about 20 meters out. So beautiful shot there, beautiful win, a beautiful goal for Ender. Yeah, what a big win here for Illuminaughty, as they were having a little bit of trouble there coming over the last few weeks, picking up some victories that they certainly weren't happy about. And you know they're feeling good for this one, because this isn't just a victory on the scorecard. This is a victory over Kang, a team that has been absolutely dominant this season. Kang was 10-1, now going 10-2 with this loss. Illuminaughty going up 7-5 on the season now. But yeah, major victory here for the team of Illuminaughty, and personally happy to see it happen. As yeah, you kind of you know this team to be so strong, so dominant. You kind of don't want to see them fall out of form, and so it's nice to see them picking up a victory here.
Yeah, and on the flip side for Kang, tough loss. Couldn't get that those clutch buckets that they've been really good at in those first 9-10 games, but still absolutely great game. And I don't, at least I wouldn't hope this affects Kangos too much, because again, the teams at this level of play are just too good. So Kangorillaz will in fact get their second defeat of the season, but again, I mean, a 10-2 record is still pretty ridiculous, especially at that master tier. It's just not, you don't see teams able to sustain this kind of thing that often these days.
No, certainly not. But real quick, I got a quick shout out to Gilligan saying happy 100 them. Thank you very much, Gilligan. And Jaywalker kind of jumping on the back of that, saying good 100th cast. I believe it's a commentary on the game that ended up being the 100th cast. I mean, absolutely, this was a phenomenal game between these two teams. Even though we only saw it go to 2, I was really excited to see that third game. But still, those 2 games were so well fought, so much back and forth. First round staying in the single digits there, 9-7. Second round only going to double digits in those last 10 seconds with a shot from Ender, taking it up to 12-8 there. Otherwise was a 9-8 game.
Yeah.
So yeah, really close games here between these 2 teams. Absolutely phenomenal to watch.
Both of those games, those rounds, if basically one play had gone a little bit differently in either round towards the end, it could have easily been Kango's sweeping. It could have easily been a round 3 that we saw, because it really did come down to those last minutes. And ultimately, like I mentioned, in a lot of the early games from Kangorillaz, and in weeks 1 through 5, basically, there were multiple times where they were a little bit on their heels towards the end of rounds, but then it was someone, whether it was Strembitsky or Loveridge, Seal, Matt, doesn't, like, all of them, they had these moments in the final minutes where they would clutch it with a save or an interception or just a great boost for these late game goals or saves that would just secure the victories for them. They had 2 chances at it tonight in both the end of rounds 1 and 2. Weren't able to do it that time, but that's just kind of the nature of those clutch situations. No one is ever, no person and no individual is ever going to get those working their way every single time. Kang, though, across the season has been as good as at doing it as anyone, but Illuminaughty, they're the ones today who just came through in the clutch with all the right plays at the right times. So congrats to Illuminaughty, and yeah, just great game. And thank you everyone in the chat too for being very active, reactive, sitting
Speaking
at
of
50.
chat, I meant to get to this earlier on. Zenith threw some bits our way before the game got started there. So thanks to Zenith, and also YouTube throwing one bit out here.
And
at
Rocks.
the end.
Rocks with 89.
Oh, I missed that as well. So thanks guys. Thank you everybody throwing the bits out. We always appreciate it for sure.
Yeah, and the subs as well. We've been getting a lot of them throughout this week. In fact, a lot of them have come from Vlastro, so shout out to Vlastro. But there's been a lot of subs throughout the week. Mozzie subbing yesterday, and we had I mentioned Vlastro giving out must be 10, 15 community subs at this point. I mean, it's been pretty awesome on his part, and yeah, we're always appreciative of
That's phenomenal.
all the support. And even without the subs, without the bits, just the viewership and the Twitch interaction really is what matters the most, especially
Absolutely.
you know, growing the league and showing off our game and getting it out there. On that note, hashtag get Echo on ESPN. That's not the actual hashtag, but I'm just saying. This is the most ridiculous thing, but we're gonna do it. I'm gonna send
make it happen.
I'm gonna send my letters, or get it to NBC, ABC, Fox, all the sports channels that have no sports to broadcast. They're gonna get one.
You know, you could probably cut down on some manpower there if you just send it to Disney, because they probably own all of them. So.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Maybe one day we'll get a Disneyland Echo Arena experience. Yeah.
Ooh.
If anyone could make it happen, it's Disney. So yeah. But on that note, that will conclude our stream for the moment. We do have some more games on the way, so we'll bring up the schedule really quick for you. And since my voice is starting to dry out a little bit here, I'll let Dimwi read it off if you will. I'll give you a second though. But
Absolutely. No, I'm ready to go with it. Maybe a surprise to some. Our next game up is actually a European game at 4:30 Central. That's between Alpha Ducks and Vertigo. They don't usually play this late in the evening. That's going to be, I believe that's like 9:30 London time. So yeah, it's definitely a later game for the Europeans. But yeah, that's our next game up. Very excited for that one. That's going to be done. Me and Sputnik currently signed up for it. But then
I'll be
imagine
don't worry.
Palidore. Yeah, I figured you would be there for it.
Yeah.
And then at 6 o'clock Central, we've got 2 games going on at the same time: Adrenaline versus Ignite, and Genesis versus Flare. And that one's followed up at the 7 o'clock hour Central. Genesis versus Orbit. Genesis playing some back-to-backs here. And at the same time, Guinness versus Deception. Then an hour after that, 8 o'clock Central, we've got Legends versus Ignite. And this is another side-by-side. We got 6 Foot Over versus Olympus. And then finally, to close this out, at 9 o'clock Central, we've got Invictus versus Naples Ultra. And at 9:15 Central, Chaos versus There Is No Team. So yeah, a lot of games to go left today.
And see, audience, this is why I handed it off to Dimwi. That was a long read, wasn't it? There's a lot of games, as is the case with Sunday. We'll get a lot of them, if not all of them, broadcasted, I hope. But we do have plenty of staff on board tonight, at least 4, if not more. So Palidore is feeling confident for some more. There you
Absolutely.
go. But yeah, so that will do it for now. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. I've been Palidore. That's been SirDimwi. And again, congrats on the 100th cast. Amazing job, and looking forward to, I suppose by the end of tonight, probably your 106th or so. So yes.
Something like that.
All right. So thank you again, everyone. Have yourselves a great afternoon, evening, morning, night, whatever it is. Enjoy, and we'll see you again later.
Woo!
Woo!